hard to kill somebody.
We're shooting this fantastic roper scene. It's gonna be a real killer.
If it wasn't for you, I'd be 6 foot under up on Booth Hill right now. I'm gonna hunt you down.
These people are ready to die for you. That's the best choice of words.
We in the business.
What kind of a human being are you?
Well, I'm a producer.
How is it a guy making $1 million movie don't have a better car?
I don't believe in ostentatious flamboyance.
What, are you stupid?
No. You're lying.
I swear to you, I'm not lying. I'm lying a little bit, but I'm a producer. That's what I do. And I will have your money in full, I promise you.
You got 72 hours. After that, I choke you to death.
Come on, I'm not an idiot. You haven't painted the most accurate portrait of our investor.
All right! We've been in trouble before. We always find a way out.
It's all over the street. You need money. Why don't you guys come by the set? Frank Pierce is gonna be there.
Excuse me, Mr. Pierce. I'm so sorry to bother you. Can I get your autograph?
Frank Pierce was insured for $5 million.
The scumbag. He doesn't shoot a frame of film and he makes $5 million.
Well, how would you have felt if all you had to show for it was a lousy insurance check?
Look, I got a scam.
What do you mean a scam?
We make it look like we're actually going to be putting together a movie. We heavily insure the star who'll do his own stunts. You're Duke Montana?
Yeah, that's Duke Montana. What are you doing, Duke Montana?
Come on, daily game. Russian roulette.
You are perfect for this particular part.
I really connected to the story.
Yeah, but Duke, it's like a Western, you know, it's very masculine. Congratulations.
Bang! We kill him in a stunt, he's dead. And then we're rich. We're rich. Duke Montana, if he were alive right now, I know he would be saying, "Where's that damn horse there?" Duke, my God, you're alive. You don't know this guy. He's got like 9 lives.
It's not that hard to kill somebody.
We're shooting this fantastic roper scene. It's gonna be a real killer.
If it wasn't for you, I'd be 6 foot under up on Booth Hill right now. I'm gonna hunt you down.
These people are ready to die for you. That's the best choice of words.
We in the business.
What kind of a human being are you?
Well, I'm a producer.
How is it a guy making $1 million movie don't have a better car?
I don't believe in ostentatious flamboyance.
What, are you stupid?
No.
You're lying.
I swear to you, I'm not lying. I'm lying a little bit, but I'm a producer. That's what I do. And I will have your money in full, I promise you.
You got 72 hours. After that, I choke you to death.
Come on, I'm not an idiot. You haven't painted the most accurate portrait of our investor.
All right! We've been in trouble before. We always find a way out.
It's all over the street. You need money. Why don't you guys come by the set? Frank Pierce is gonna be there.
Excuse me, Mr. Pierce. I'm so sorry to bother you. Can I get your autograph?
Frank Pierce was insured for $5 million.
The scumbag. He doesn't shoot a frame of film and he makes $5 million.
Well, how would you have felt if all you had to show for it was a lousy insurance check?
Look, I got a scam.
What do you mean a scam?
We make it look like we're actually going to be putting together a movie. We heavily insure the star who'll do his own stunts. You're Duke Montana?
Yeah, that's Duke Montana. What are you doing, Duke Montana?
Come on, daily game. Russian roulette.
You are perfect for this particular part.
I really connected to the story.
Yeah, but Duke, it's like a Western, you know, it's very masculine. Congratulations.
Bang! We kill him in a stunt, he's dead. And then we're rich. We're rich. Duke Montana, if he were alive right now, I know he would be saying, "Where's that damn horse there?" Duke, my God, you're alive. You don't know this guy. He's got like 9 lives.
It's not that hard to kill somebody.
We're shooting this fantastic roper scene. It's gonna be a real killer.
If it wasn't for you, I'd be 6 foot under up on Booth Hill right now. I'm gonna hunt you down.
These people are ready to die for you. That's the best choice of words.
We in the business.
What kind of a human being are you?
Well, I'm a producer.
How is it a guy making $1 million movie don't have a better car?
I don't believe in ostentatious flamboyance.
What, are you stupid?
No.
Dead?
And then we're rich. We're rich. Duke Montana, if he were alive right now, I know he would be saying,
Where's that damn horse at?
Duke, my God, you're alive. You don't know this guy. He's got like 9 lives.
It's not that hard to kill somebody.
We're shooting this fantastic roper scene. It's gonna be a real killer.
If it wasn't for you, I'd be 6 foot under up on Booth Hill right now. I'm gonna hunt you down.
These people are ready to die for you. That's the best choice of words.
We in the business.
What kind of a human being are you?
Well, I'm a producer.
How is it a guy making $1 million movie don't have a better car?
I don't believe in ostentatious flamboyance.
What, are you stupid?
No.
You're lying.
I swear I'm not lying. I'm not. Well, I'm lying a little bit, but I'm a producer. That's what I do. And I will have your money in full. I promise you.
You got 72 hours. After that, I choke you to death.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage our president of the Palm Springs International Comedy Festival, Mr. Paul Cruz.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. It is Sunday, October 18th. We have a very special award to present to you today. This is the last day of the festival. Thank you so much for joining us. We are so excited and so honored to talk to you guys about this upcoming film. It's the Palm Springs International Comedy Festival Stanley Kramer Mad World Comedy Award recipient. It is director George Gallo's film, The Comeback Trail, starring Robert De Niro, Morgan Freeman, Tommy Lee Jones, Emo Hirsch, Zach Braff, Eddie Griffin, Vincent Spano, Kate Katzman, and so many more other wonderful actors. But without further ado, here to talk more to you about this special award and to present it is actually Karen Sharp Kramer, Stanley Kramer's wife, and his daughter, Kat Kramer, both executive board members of the Palm Springs International Comedy Festival. Kat, Karen.
Hi, happy to be here.
Hi, Paul.
George Gallo's film, The Comeback Trail, is probably the funniest film I have seen. Kat and I look at everything before we make a decision about the awards. And we've looked at every film this year and last year too. I think this is the most charming, funny, slapstick, what it will take a producer to go through all kinds of trials and tribulations just to make his film. Well, we've experienced some of that, so we can identify, absolutely. But, you know, it also deals with a very popular subject of it's a mad, 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 mad world, and that's greed and money. It's all about that. We thought we were greedy in 1963 when we made It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. But boy, look at us now. We are really in the zenith of that. So I'm just thrilled to give this award tonight. And so pleased that everybody came on board to share in this special honor for George, who made a great, great film. And all of your performances are just first rate, just fabulous.
Yes.
You know, in selecting the award, this is only the second year of the festival. And for the first year, we chose Book Club, which was primarily female-dominated cast. And now this is primarily a male-dominated cast, and both very funny movies. And I know that George Gallo was inspired by It's a Mad, 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 Mad World when he made The Comeback Trail, which you'll hear about in a few minutes here when I introduce him. But this is truly an ensemble award, so that's why it's an award different than anything else in the festival, because it honors not only the filmmaker and the creative team, but also the entire cast is honored. And we have many of them joining us. But I want to bring George Gallo into the conversation because I'm sure some of you will have questions for him as well. So I first became a fan of George Gallo when I saw Midnight Run.
Me too.
And he's made so many incredible movies. And I know this one's going to be a classic. And it took him 17 years. This was a passion project for George. It took 17 years to bring it to the screen. When It's a Mad, 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 Mad World came out before my time in 1963, it healed a nation, and it was also released in November, and it played for a year.
Well, the reason
Cinerama Dome in Hollywood was actually built. My father built that to open It's a Mad, 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 Mad World.
But it was just 2 weeks after the assassination of President Kennedy, and the premiere, President and Mrs. Kennedy were to attend that premiere because in 1963, when we had premieres, it was like the Oscars. Everybody showed up. And this was a brand new theater built just especially to open Mad World, the Cinerama Dome in Hollywood. And President and Mrs. Kennedy had accepted the invitation to attend. And a couple of days before the event, they got in touch with Stanley Kramer and said, "We're so sorry. We're getting ready to go to Dallas, and we're going to have to get ready for that. So we're going to send Teddy Kennedy instead," which they did. And of course, a couple of weeks later, the assassination happened. And Mad World helped heal a nation. It played for 2 years without stopping. I just wanted to get that in because it's significant, I think, for any kind of president election we're going through right now.
And now when we screen it for anniversaries, it packs in crowds. I mean, half the time we ourselves can't even find a seat to watch it when it plays the Dome or any place that is playing locally or across the country or around the world. All generations appreciate it because it was clean comedy. And you had all those amazing comics in one movie anchored by Spencer Tracy. And families and people say to us all the time that, I mean, kids watch it saying it's their favorite film that their family introduced them to. So it really has lasted all these generations.
And I expect George Gallo's film to do the same.
And I know we have many members of the cast and creative team here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce George first, and then I'm going to introduce the cast members and creative team that are joining now and some that will still be joining in the next few minutes to talk about the film and their experiences on it and share that with us. So ladies and gentlemen, George Gallo.
Hi. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes, perfectly.
Yes,
okay.
we can.
Well, it is. I'll thank everybody else because I couldn't have done it without any the people. Certainly, my co-writing partner Josh Posner and cinematographer Lukash, who's also with us. But it's for me to get this award. It's especially meaningful to me because I was born in 1956. I'm 64 years old, and when I was a little kid, my mother took me to see It's a Mad, Mad World, and I remember this very, very clearly. I saw it on a Saturday afternoon, and there was a packed house at the Capitol Theater in Portchester, New York, and I went with my mom and my friend John Bandy, and we sat there and watched this movie, and we just couldn't stop laughing. And I was as far away from making movies as one could imagine. I was a working class kid growing up in Portchester, New York. But that movie really struck a very deep chord with me. And it was definitely the beginnings of whatever you could be as a young kid. What was I, 8 years old? But I definitely was highly inspired by that movie and started drawing like little comics of cars chasing each other down the road. And it was definitely, like I say, it was definitely the beginning of planting that seed in my head that I could actually make movies. And in fact, when I was making this movie, as Josh can attest, prior to starting making the film, I watched It's a Mad, Mad World several times. I think I left one of the Mads out. It's a Mad, 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 Mad.
Four Mad.
Four Mads, yes. I left. I definitely watched that film several times because that movie was shot with a lot of big master shots and super wide screen, and because there was so much going on in the frame, there was always the actors moving as opposed to a lot of cutting. So I emulated some of that approach in this film.
You got some great
That
stunts
was
in this film.
definitely.
In your film, you have some fantastic stunts.
Oh,
Listen, it
thanks.
took you 17 years to make this film. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, even longer than that. I mean, when I went into, you talk about going back into my childhood. Now, in my teenage years, when I was 18 years old, I went to this comic book convention in New York City. We were skipping class in high school. We all went to this comic book convention, and I started walking around the hotel, and I heard the rattle of a 16mm projector. And in this room, they were showing this unfinished film called The Comeback Trail. And I walked in after it started, and I left prior to it being over, because I left my buddies behind. But it was this movie with Chuck McCann and Buster Crabbe. It was made for, like, I don't know, it looked like it was made on a shoestring. But the idea of it, which is that they were trying to kill a guy with for an insurance scam, stuck with me. I always loved the concept. And I thought that the movie, it was an independent movie. It never really fully realized, the idea. But for years, I tried to track down the rights. And then after I started writing and directing, I couldn't find who owned the rights. And then totally by accident, 17 years ago, about the time I'd given up, I came across this woman at a screening of Midnight Run, and she said, "I just wanted to let you know that Midnight Run's my favorite film, and my husband's favorite movie." And I said, "Oh, thank you. What was your husband's name?" And she said, "Harry Hurwitz." And I said, "The Comeback Trail?" And she said, "How do you know The Comeback Trail? The movie was never released." And I said, I saw it 20 some odd years ago. And then we shook hands that night, and then Josh got involved, and we wrote the screenplay together. And then another 17 years went by, and we couldn't get it made. And then how it really happened was I had a conversation with Robert De Niro, who's a buddy of mine, and we started talking, and he said, "I want to do something funny." He says, "I just finished The Irishman. I've been playing a psychopath for 8 months." And I said, "Josh and I have this screenplay if you want to take a look at it, but it's really nuts." I said, "We wrote it a few years ago," and he read it, and he called 2 days later, and he goes, "I'm in, let's do it." And that was then it took 4 months we were shooting. So
That's not a long schedule.
For the filmmakers tuning in, it took 17 years, but once De Niro said yes.
Once Bob said yes, we were off and running. Yeah.
I love the fact you expressed that they were all on their A game.
Yeah.
And they were very competitive with one another, which happened in Mad World too. They were all competitive, trying to outdo one another. I think that's what adds to the energy of a film, particularly when it's comedy.
Absolutely, because nobody wants to be out funnied or out acted. You know what I mean? So they really bring it. I think Lucas is here. Lukash is here. If you want to add, or so is Josh.
Yes, we would.
Lukash, and also then Josh Posner.
The great Josh Posner, I might add.
I like it.
Yes.
Josh? Lukash.
Oh, Lukash. Okay.
Hello, how are you, everybody? First of all, congratulations, George. I'm very, very proud to be a part of this whole journey, as you know. And when I read the script, I could not stop laughing. It was one of the funniest things ever. And as George knows, I'm a big, big fan of the Midnight Run. So, and we've worked with George before in the past, and he gave me a call and said, "Hey, I got this crazy script, and Robert De Niro's on." And I went, "Are you kidding me?" And the rest, history. We didn't have a long time to shoot it, but we had a lot of fun, that's for sure.
Yes, we did. It was very grueling, because of the heat, and we're out in the desert in the middle of summer, and it was difficult at times.
What about the stunts? The stunts were just the stunts were brilliant.
Because part of Mad World's legacy is the stunts that so many other films have tried to emulate.
We didn't have the technology we have today.
But I have to. I'm sorry. No, I mean the stunts in It's a Mad, Mad World are unbelievable. I mean the car driving stuff is just literally.
We had no technology like we do today when we made that. So those are all real. It's all real.
No, I mean the moves that the cars are making are insane. It's what I mean, because I really studied the film, and I was like, there's an energy in those chases that I think is very unparalleled. And I'm not saying it's unmatched. It's I don't know how you make the movement of the car literally funny, but there was such aggression in the way the cars were always moving.
It's a serious subject. You know, greed and money is a serious subject. That could have been a drama with a car going over the ravine and the man dying, and they know there's money. That could have been a drama as well. Mm-hmm. You know, either way, it just depends on how you tell the story. So, what about those stunts? How were they created? Who did them? How did that happen? Because they're just well done.
We had a couple of Lukash?
Go ahead, George, you start and I'll fill in.
Well, we had a couple of 3 stunt coordinators on them. We had 2 at least, right? And then the first guy had to leave, right? And then the second
guy took over, yeah. Well, our stunts were going to be a little bit more elaborate, but then they became kind of funny and they really matched the world that our characters were in, you know, in that kind of a B movie world. And I think that's why they work, and they kind of, you know, on a small scale, they're rather big, if you will, right?
Yeah, they're rather ridiculous. I mean, a guy flying, 50 feet through the air and he catches fire and he's okay. I mean,
he lived through it all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. And they're all physically impossible in real world.
Obviously. Oh, no, they defy gravity in places. But I mean, and De Niro blows up and his hat stays on his head. I mean, there's...
But one thing we have to say that one of the scenes in the movie where De Niro gets kicked by a horse is from an original. Remember we saw that on YouTube when a horse.
Oh yes. We kept looking. Yeah, we kept looking at. That's right. I totally forgot about that. We went on the internet. We were looking for anything of a horse kicking a guy to see what we could find, and we found one that was so awful. I don't know. Did that guy live?
Probably not.
Oh, I mean, it was so awful. He was behind the horse, feeding it, and this thing just viciously kicked him, just like De Niro in the movie. Only De Niro is fine, and I don't think this guy was. But it was so bad, we just started to laugh.
Yeah, that's
great.
Well, I want to bring some of the cast on, but we want to hear from Josh first.
Sure.
You talk. We have time, but I want Josh to be able to. Can you share a bit with when you first started working with George on the reimagining? So, and for those who haven't seen the original Comeback Trail, because it didn't get the release, this is like a brand new movie. But
it really is.
Yeah. How much did you guys borrow from the original, or how much of it is retained still from the original film? And I'm sure you added characters and made a lot of changes.
Yeah. Well, first off, let me also say congratulations to George. It's very exciting, and it's a pleasure to have your writing partner directing as well, because you know that the material is going to be protected. You know that you're going to be on the same page in terms of what should be going on. So that was very nice in this process. From the original, it's pretty different. The original had a great idea. It was very run and gun style, as George said, very shoestring budget. So we sort of took the concept of these 2 producers hiring an old actor to kill somebody, and we put a fresh spin on it. There was none of the pressure of people knowing the original. We could really just go wherever we wanted, and we took that license and we really made it, made a movie for today, and made a movie that was our own.
Great.
Yeah, we based, other than the character of the cowboy, we invented all the characters.
So the cowboy was in the original.
Yeah, his name Duke Montana. Yeah,
right.
But we made him. Yeah, we made him suicidal and an alcoholic, because none of that stuff was in the original movie. We just thought, we thought it took the edge off of De Niro wanting to kill a guy who already wanted to die anyway. So we thought it somehow makes it a little more palatable in De Niro's mind, because he is sort of a kind of an awful guy, but
producers get bad names. I mean, I've run into that, and I'm sure you have too. We're stereotyped as being that kind of person. And there's some lines in this movie that just really get me every time. He says, I didn't lie. I didn't lie. Well, maybe just a little bit. Because I'm a producer. That's what we do. Yeah. I love that. For Smoke and Mirrors, there's so many funny lines in this movie. But carry on. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Can sometimes get a bad name or be called cheesy or too aggressive just when they're going after passion. I speak for myself. Passion on something, or trying to get a script to an actor. They can get, abused for that and bullied. So I think it's great to make that also the part of the jokes. But we will have more cast and creative team and supporters popping on throughout. But I wanted to say that the great Eddie Griffin's in the house.
He is.
He is. We have some surprises for you.
He just got off a plane to be here today, so I'm
Did
really
he?
pleased. So nice to meet you, Eddie.
Eddie, what's up, buddy?
Part of the film,
Man,
and
I'm
also
sitting here. I'm checking in, and I'd like to congratulate you, man. It's well deserved. This is my second project working with George, and George is just, he's a Mitch. What can I say?
Hey, Eddie.
love that word.
Eddie, it's our third project.
Yes, it's our third.
Yeah, Double Take, the concert movie, and Double Take, and Comeback Trail.
Oh yes, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I've been on the road, so I'm here, but I'm not here. But I'm here.
No worries, buddy.
Yes, but congratulations, man. I mean, it was a pleasure working on the set with De Niro. I mean, that kid, he's got some legs. He's gonna go far in his life. And what's that other kid's name?
Morgan Freeman.
That youngster boy, I'll tell you something about him. I like him. He's gonna be hot.
I have to share a story about Eddie. When we first read the script at CAA, we were all sitting around a long conference table, and I'm not going to curse, but what I'm going to say, Eddie. So we got to Eddie's reading, and Eddie was about like 7 minutes into the movie. Eddie appears, and so Eddie's reading his part, and Bob De Niro's reading his part. And right after Bob De Niro says a line to Eddie, Eddie slams his hand down on the desk and goes, "I just did a scene with Robert effing De Niro," and the whole room just broke up laughing. Yeah.
I don't blame you. I feel the same way.
That was a great moment.
I was lucky to be in a couple of his movies, but never had the moments that you had, Eddie. So, and also you're a true, genuine stand-up comedian, which is what Palm Springs International Comedy Festival is all about, as Paul can tell you. This is the heart and soul, is our stand-up competitions. And, we have movies and shows and web series, but it's the live performing and the comics that we're announcing the winners right after this. So we're just so honored to have you. And, you're also honored because you're part of the cast. So this is, like I mentioned, an award that not only honors the filmmaker and the director, but also the cast. And we have a couple others here. Paul Whitten has joined us to surprise George and
thank you.
Both valuable parts of the film. So whoever wants to go first, Vincent, and then
I just like to say
unmuted.
I was just lucky to be involved in this, and it's just a privilege and a pleasure, man. I mean, that's all I got to say.
Eddie, we were lucky to have you, buddy.
Oh, man,
I mean,
stop.
every line you say brings the house down, and I mean,
They do.
Yeah. God bless you,
Everybody in
Eddie.
this film is
Now,
absolutely
when I first checked on here, I seen everybody. I seen the host was dressed up, and these two beautiful ladies, the Kramers, were dressed up. So I went through this top on. Now underneath, I got on some sweats, and I had my Chiefs jersey on because I'm from Kansas City, so I was watching the Chiefs, and I'm like, oh, you mind if I go change? I see everybody else is maxing and relaxing, so I'll be right back.
Okay, we love you, Eddie.
Because the cast is going to get awards, but there's actually merchandise that we could, that I've been wearing all week, and we decided this is the award ceremony, so we have to dress it up.
I would have dressed formally, but I thought it was the afternoon, so I didn't do that. But
Can I say something?
Sure,
First of all,
sure.
I want to
talk first, because
let me tell you something.
he
George
told me about
Gallo.
this movie in the very beginning before. Very beginning, when like earlier this year, to keep an eye out for this movie. You told me like in January.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Yes.
So that's how it led to this.
I'm so glad. I mean, and I want to just say that, George.
Wait a minute. That background's from 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Right.
Am I good?
Isn't that amazing?
Hey, this is a Stanley Kramer Award. I figured we'd have a little Stanley Kubrick also.
All right, that's close. That's close.
That's okay. Stanley was a fan of Kubrick as well.
We have to have that because last night somebody had a Buckingham Palace background, so we have to have something.
I just got my little dinky office here. I mean, I'm going to have to take a lesson from how you do that because that's pretty nifty.
This background behind me is actually fake. I actually live right in front of the Taj Mahal, but I didn't want to show off, so I put this up instead.
Well, we're from Buckingham Palace, but we didn't want to impress you too much.
Okay,
so
good to know.
George knows movies. Let me tell you, I was playing a little piece of an Ennio Morricone film, music, and he went, "Oh, that's that Sean Penn movie. What was that?
State of Grace."
You got it.
Yeah, State of
You got it
Grace,
off of
right.
one piece of Ennio Morricone movie. So he sees that he's the only one. Nobody ever gets it. He knows it was this 2000.
Yeah, that's right. That's where the monolith was standing in the middle of the
right
room.
at the end of the bed.
Yeah, yes.
So I want to say, George, I mean, George is such a fun and loving man that when you work on a film with him, this was my first time. We almost worked on a film years ago, so close. And, but he attracts all these fun-loving people. So you can imagine how amazing this experience was. I mean, look at Eddie. All right, we got Paul. And then we go to work, and there was Bob and Morgan and Tom, Tommy getting ready to work, and it was like magic, And I just want to say also that the Stanley Kramer, Inherit the Wind, Judgment at Nuremberg, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? I mean, here we are in this day and age of Black Lives Matter, this huge movement. He was there, man. He was there in the 50s and the 60s, wasn't he?
Started in the 40s.
He actually,
In the 40s. I mean, it's incredible.
He made the first African, it gave it in 1947, a film called Home of the Brave. It was, he bought the rights to a Broadway play about anti-Semitism during World War II, which Stanley, being Jewish, experienced during the war. So he bought the rights and decided to make the stakes a little higher and make it about an African-American experience in an all-white platoon in World War II. And he starred the first African-American actor in a leading role. His name was James Edwards. He used to take him to the studio every morning, pick him up and hide him on the floorboard of his car, coming to and from the studio, because he knew that they'd say, "What is he doing in your car, Mr. Kramer?" This is 1947. Not drinking out of the same water fountains, not using our bathrooms, restaurants, or theaters. It was so, well, I can't even believe that ever happened, but it did. I lived through it too. And so when this film came out, it was a secret. They swore to secrecy. It was picketed, of course, the most picketed film in the history of Hollywood.
Jesus.
But that just made Stanley want to go on. So he went and made The Defiant Ones and Pressure Point with Sidney Poitier, and of course, then Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. He was a great leader in film with the civil rights movement. So thank you for saying that.
I just had to mention that. I mean, it's a legend, a legendary human being and creative genius.
Well, thank you. And
yeah, for real.
There's great stories about how Mad World, which he could tell you.
I don't want to talk about Mad World because I want to talk
know,
about your film because that's what we're here for today.
But I mean about the fact that
I'd rather talk about Mad World.
Well, I can tell you stories about that too, and I will one day. But let's talk about, the comeback trail. That's what we're here.
Well, I'll finish up by saying it was such an amazing
That's right.
experience.
Love talking to you, Vincent. That was great. Now,
Thank you. No, you can continue. I just want to make sure Paul, who I definitely bought on as a surprise. George had no idea.
I had no
I wanted to make sure Paul Whitten, who's in the comeback trail.
Hi, George.
Hello.
Hi.
And congratulations. I think Vincent put it really well that I think being on a George Gallo set is such a gift because he leads first with kindness and with humor. He's open to everything, and of course a boatload of talent, and he surrounds himself with people that are also all of those things. So kind of just piggybacking on what Vince said, it was an absolute
Well, that's all
pleasure.
very kind. That's
And
all very kind.
it's 100% true.
Well, two things. First of all, Paul is hysterical in the movie, and Paul basically invented that character. That was more of Paul's invention. There was a hint at who the guy was in his screenplay, but Paul basically created this guy. And, the more he did, the funnier it got. So I was like, let's just go with it. That's, there's one other person I have to thank that's a bit of an unsung hero in all of this is my wife, Julie, who can't be on the call, unfortunately, but she's a terrific producer. She's the one that said you should hire Paul. And she also lived with me. I mean, we've been together 37 years. She lived with me the entire process of writing this and going through all the drafts and read all the various drafts. And in a lot of ways was my anchor throughout this, not to mention that early on into the movie, I don't even think Eddie knows this, or Vincent, do you know this? You guys know we hit a roadblock and some of the financing fell out and we were starting. So we ended up mortgaging our house to keep the movie going.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We put everything we had into keeping it going because it was going to collapse about 2 weeks in. So yeah, we went forward and that's what we did. And Julie was like, without blinking, she was like, just do it. And I'm like, this is our life savings. This is what we're doing. She goes, let's go. Let's stop talking about it. Let's do it. And
yeah,
God,
you're both truly independent. It's a truly independent project, a truly independent filmmaker. And Stanley Kramer actually started as an independent and actually raised money from lettuce growers and people outside the motion picture industry to make his first few movies. So
wow.
He brought the independent spirit back into the industry after it had dried up.
Yeah.
So,
we
so you're
understand what
carrying
that's
on the
about.
tradition too.
And it's especially harder today. I look at Harris
Yeah.
Tolson.
He's supposed to be
seminars,
on here.
by the way, and I learned so much from him. And I thought I knew a lot about producing, being a producer now myself. But I learned so much from Harris as well. And he showed great excerpts of your film, of the trail, Comeback Trail. And I got a chance to see a little bit more at that time of your film. And he did a terrific job of explaining everything about being an independent producer and how hard it is to do it, particularly today. So I get
especially in this time of COVID, in this film, which is, I believe, scheduled to be released in November, which would have been the same month.
That just changed.
Out.
Yeah, that just changed. Now they're saying December 18th. That's one of the issues. Yeah, because of COVID stuff,
Well,
that's still great.
December is a great month to release
holidays.
films. It's a holiday film. I mean, it's not a holiday film, but it's a fun film that I think people will enjoy, especially during the holiday, particularly to laugh and to enjoy something after this terrible, dismal time we've been through.
I know.
I think that's going to help make this even more of a bigger success.
Just about over. It's just about over. We're about to give the broom to the Trump. The Trump is about to be swept out the door.
Right.
I already voted. If I could have voted 17 times, I would have. It's time for this nut to go. I mean, we got to get
listen,
White House.
He voted too.
I'm praying. I am praying.
It's a mad
world.
world.
We'll get
He's
today
his
to
mind. Madman, bro. He got one brain cell. Stuck on stupid.
Yes, insane is a better word. Okay,
Yeah,
who's
he's
next?
like,
Who's next? If I insulted any Republicans, I'm sorry, but I'm a well-known Democrat. For everybody knows that about me.
Most of the Republicans I know are for Biden, so
if they're Republicans, trust me, they don't like Trump.
no.
You can be a Republican, not liking.
There are people that do. That's the sad thing, is trying to convince them and show them the right way, but only they can do that.
Well, I hope
so.
you're right, Eddie. I really do. Nothing would surprise me. This has been one of those years.
No, that's why I'm staying quiet, because you just, who the hell knows what's going to happen.
Well, the military gonna have. I tell you what's gonna happen.
Rabbits come out of the hat all the time with this administration. Just don't know. And so
He's
going
to lose by a landslide, and then he's going to escape to Russia. Watch. He's going to try to steal Air Force One and escape to Russia.
But he has a love affair with Putin, so why not? It's a great piece to read. All right. So who's next?
Does anybody else have any? I see we have a couple more people that have joined on. Some people may be mysteriously on because I can't see all the names. But and there are people watching on Facebook too, and YouTube, and not everybody's on the Zoom.
So Andrew,
do we want to watch any the trailer again, or did you all see the trailer? Do we want to?
I've seen it. I've only seen it 40 million times.
I know, but by the way, it's the best trailer I've ever seen. That's a hell of a trailer. It's
people that are part of the festival that are joining us that may have come on late.
Oh, okay, sure. For them, I thought you meant, do I want to watch it?
Or does anybody have anything else they want to add? Or Paul, do you have any questions or comments? Paul, who's the president?
I got in trouble. I got in trouble on the set, and you know what I did? I was a bad boy. Remember, George? I was bad. Well, you know, you're
I
talking
don't
about
pay
all the
attention
stunts.
to on-set shenanigans. I'm trying to shoot, you know.
That's right.
So
I was playing a Native American, but it's a kind of as you know, it's ironic. You know, it's this Sicilian guy. It's based on the Sicilian guy who played all these Italian, you know, this Italian American who played all these Native Americans, and this I'm with all the Native Americans. They're on horses and stuff, and the guy who's their wrangler says, "Oh man, you can't shoot that bow and arrow."
Oh, I remember.
Oh, I can shoot this bow and arrow. He says, "No, you can't." He says, "Okay, hit that tree over there." I said, and then they were like rolling. I said, "I can't hit the tree, but you watch." And so now the arrows were made with rubber tips. They had rubber tips on them. So I wasn't too worried. And so I just picked a place, like I had to shoot the arrows at the cowboys, you know, and all the settlers. And so I just started shooting the arrows. And I got in so much trouble.
Yes, I remember that because the stunt guy came running over to me saying that Vincent Spano was shooting arrows through the air. And I'm like, well, stop worrying about it. That's the least of my issues. If he doesn't hit anybody in the eye, let's just keep going. You know,
they wanted, I definitely aimed them towards the ground, way away from them. But I just wanted I had to show this Native American wrangler that I could shoot the arrows. And the reason they wanted us to fake it is because you could put it in digitally later and make it even better. They could put fire on them, like we
ended up doing
fire.
that.
And so
well, that
that
sounds
was
a little more pain. Then Stanley would have a crap shoot going all during his film. And,
that's
and
making a movie. That's directing. Right, Eddie?
Stanley was a great gambler. And so Jerry Lewis he had a couple of lines or had a moment. He lost a lot of money in the crapshoot.
Jerry Lewis did?
Jerry Lewis did, yes. So they all played, you know, in between scenes. It was shot in Palm Springs in August. You think it was hot where you were? Yes. It was also August in Palm Springs. Most of the movie was made there.
That's why the award, not the only reason, but one of the main reasons that this award, the Mad World Comedy Ensemble Feature Film Award, is at the Palm Springs International Comedy Festival, is that most of the whole movie, not all of it, but a lot of it was shot in Palm Springs and also Palm Desert.
And because I love Paul Cruz, who's the director and founded this whole series of festival, and I absolutely love this man.
I wanted to ask Eddie while he's here, because you know what was your experience working? Because you already worked with George, but you probably were working with Morgan for the first time, right? Can you talk about any stories you want to share about working with him or the movie, something that stands out in your mind?
Morgan is Mr. Freeman, as I like to call him. Mr. Freeman is the most giving actor that I've ever worked with. I mean, you can just vibe with him, and you can play mental tennis with him. You know, if you come up with an idea, he'll punch right back at you, and we just play tennis. He's a joy to work with. I mean, you know, he is the coolest. He is the coolest dude on earth.
Yeah, he's great.
I mean, his temperament. I mean, he could mac the panties off mama. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
his temperament is cool.
I have to tell you, the first time I directed him was in the movie before this one, and this is not exaggerating or Hollywood jive. I woke up. I had to be on set. It's like 6. And I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm sitting on the end of the bed and I'm like, what the hell am I doing? I'm about to direct Morgan Freeman. It was the first day of shooting. And I'm like, I only talked to him on the phone. I didn't really know him, you know. So I show up on the set and he's there. And I'm like, okay, there's Morgan Freeman. And at some point he's going to ask me he's going to ask for some direction. So he said to me, what do you want me to do? And I says, could you stand over by the window? I want to get a shot of you backlit by the window. And he went, okay. And he walked over by the window. And okay, it's action. We shoot the very first take of the movie. And he finishes the scene. He turns around. He goes, well, I went, that was actually perfect. He goes, do you want to shoot another one? I said, not really. And he goes, you and me are going to get along just fine. Yeah.
So he's a one take, gets it on the first take.
I know. I mean, these guys are all remarkable. I mean, you know, Bob, Morgan, Tommy, they're there to work, you know, and I mean, we didn't shoot a lot. It's same thing with everybody, you know. I think a rhythm starts to happen on a movie set. If the actors think you're going to shoot 20 takes, they're not going to bother to get it right the first time. But if they know you're going to move, then everybody brings it. First take, second take, you've got it, you know?
Well, that's our job as actors, is to be able to give you that.
Yes.
I come from television and we didn't always get second take. So I learned that really quickly. On the first take, that'll be my best, because you don't get second chances sometimes. So anyway, well, I think this has been a lot of fun. Now there's some other people down here. They may just be people who are with the festival or visiting and enjoying this. I hope you're enjoying this anyway. But anyone else from the cast or from the
Creative team
that is
Paul, do you have any stories? Or now's your chance to maybe reveal something you haven't revealed or share a story.
Anybody? No?
Who was that?
Somebody just popped on, so I don't know.
I don't know some of these folks.
Karen,
Well,
I think we're having some problems with Paul's audio.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I think because he can't hear us.
You, Paul Cruz.
No, we're talking about Paul Whitten.
Oh, Paul Whitten?
I wanted Paul Whitten to say.
I'm here.
You can hear us.
Okay.
Paul
They're both unmuted though. So is there anybody, Josh or Lucas or anyone who wants
to what Eddie was saying a moment ago, working with a cast like that, are you kidding me? I will never forget this for my entire life. When the first day, I think it was one of the first days of shooting, Robert De Niro was figuring out a scene with George, and it was not very complicated, but just the logistics of the blocking. And I chipped in, I said, what about if we do this? And then De Niro goes, "You good? You good?"
No, that's not what he said. Yeah, it's funny. No, he actually said, "George, get lost. Lucas, get direct."
No, then he said, "I don't think we need you, George, anymore.
That's
Lucas
what he
will
said.
do the movie." Yeah.
Yeah.
So I go, okay, my career is done. I'm happy.
No, I was very thankful. It was a brilliant suggestion, actually, because we were trying to figure out why would he cross the room, and yeah.
I really I have to say we actually have comments from the festival because I'm a judge, and at 6 o'clock and 7 tonight, the winners of the films and the stand-up competitions are going to be announced, but they're watching right now. So I don't know if there was any questions or anything you want to say to them about comedy, because this movie is a traditional comedy in the
it is very much a throwback, to like that kind of filmmaking. Yes.
Anyone?
Well, I wanted to say something. We have a surprise for Eddie.
Thank you.
Eddie doesn't know this, but Eddie.
Surprise for Eddie. Yeah.
Eddie, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Eddie,
you're about to be surprised.
We're giving you the PSICF Comedian of the Year award this year.
Oh,
Eddie!
I suggested. I'm not worthy. Whoa.
Yes. I said we have to honor Eddie because because of the movie. So I have to take credit on this. And then he was so humble, so he wanted to be here to congratulate George, but we saved this is the big single award of the festival, Male Comedian of the Year, and you're perfect, sir. You're perfect.
Eddie.
So last year we honored Kathy Griffin, and this year our award goes to Eddie Griffin. Eddie, you're amazing.
Griffins.
You're amazing stand-up. You're an amazing actor. You're amazing talent all around. And we just really wanted to celebrate you and recognize you for all that you have contributed to the art of comedy. And the 2020 PSICF Comedian of the Year award goes to Eddie Griffin this year.
Wow, man! Wow. Thank you guys, man. Oh, man. I'm not good at accolades, and I'm not good at. Man, just thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, man. That's man. I'm starting to well up, and I can't.
Yeah, I get it.
So I'm good, but man, when do I get it?
Well, you're going to be getting 2 awards, that award and the part of the cast of the Comeback Trail. Everyone will be getting awards.
Everyone with this film will be getting a special award because we didn't know who was going to show today, because people are working, people are not always in the country. So you'll be sent it to you in the mail. So you'll all be getting it. This is the proper word. What?
I'd like to thank you, Palm Springs International Comedy Festival, for this honor, because it's a great honor to be 2020 Comedian of the Year. I mean, wow, man, that's crazy. But you know, yeah, that's it.
You're very welcome.
I know it's a lot to sink in on here, but this is the final day, and this is, you know, the other award ceremony. This is the special award ceremony. The rest will just be the winners.
And George Gallo, of course, getting the Best Film Award, my Best Comedy of the Year award.
Thank you so much
today. And I really am so proud to give this to you because I want to work with you. I just think you're.
Let's do it.
We're doing it. You
want
heard
to
it here first, folks.
So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
You all have to make me one promise though.
Yes.
And that is that in Mad World, whenever I introduce the film, which is many, many, many times through the last 30, 35 years, everybody who was ever in the movie, and there was a lot of people in that movie, like your movie, they always,
even more. I mean,
they all came out to honor that film, their film, and Stanley. And so I want you to make a promise that whenever Georgia is honored and this film of yours is honored, that you will always make it an effort to come out and support your film, and especially George.
I will say,
promise me that?
she's right, because Carl Reiner just passed away, and we only have like one or two cast members
We
left
only have
now.
Barry Chase left now.
But towards the end of their life, all of them, from Mickey Rooney to Sid Caesar,
Jonathan Winters. I can tell you this wonderful story that I think you'll appreciate about Jonathan Winters. Jonathan Winters had only done the Jack Parr show a couple of times. He was not known really. And Stanley saw those shows. Stanley was a great discoverer of talent. So he called up Jonathan Winters and he said, Mr. Winters, I'm Mr. Kramer. I'm making this film with Spencer Tracy and Milton Berle. And I have a great part that I would like you to play. And Jonathan said, Mr. Kramer, I'm not an actor. I mean, I Spencer Tracy, Milton, well, I can't. I just can't do it. I just can't. He said, Mr. Kramer, I have to be really honest with you. I just got out of a mental institution and they have declared me certifiably insane. And Stanley said, Mr. Winters, every actor I've ever worked with is certifiably insane. I think you'll do just fine. And he did. To me, he stole the damn movie. But anyway, he went on to do many, many wonderful things and remained a great, true, loyal friend to us through his lifetime. So anyway, I just want you to make me that promise, because Jonathan always showed up. Well, so did Sid. So did Mickey. So did
Milton, I think at the time.
Oh yeah, Milton. He was a big fan of Cats. And so, you know, I just want you to promise me that. But anyway, George, you're a wonderful filmmaker. Here's to you. Here's to you with our Palm Springs cup of the festival. We drink a little toast to you and to all of you in the cast.
And Eddie, you'll be getting your awards soon.
And all of you
George.
will. And all of you will. And please, God bless you.
George,
Don't forget to vote.
The same award goes for George and cast. This is the same award that you guys will be receiving as well.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Aren't they beautiful? They're gorgeous.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. Thank you. I'm very touched. I don't know what to say. I thank you. Thank you so much.
Just keep making these great movies. Okay? Don't give
try.
up.
I'll do it as long as they'll have me. I'll give it a shot. Guys, thank you all very, very much. Thank you all.
Lots of love.
I love you, Vincent, Lucas, Paul. Thank you all very much. Josh, thank you.
Thank you.
Hugs from Palm Springs.
Right.
Thank you.
Hugs back.
Thanks for joining us, George. Thanks, John.
Thanks for having me. I'll cherish this award the rest of my life. Thank you.
I'll see you soon, George.
Hey, I'll see you soon, Eddie.
Yeah, congratulations, bro.
You're gonna be able to out with these, Eddie. You're gonna get two heavy ones.
Oh man, yeah. And thanks for the honor once again, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Lucas, good to see you, man.
Great. Thank you. God bless you.
You too, Eddie. Take care. Lots of love.
All right.
Cheers. Congratulations, man.
Thank you, bro.
Take care, man.
All right.
At T-Mobile, we believe you should get more. That's why we merged with Sprint. Now
On my phone, not on my computer. Here. I can see a quick physical person. See, I paused it, and for some reason on my computer, I paused it up. I'm gonna have to go through it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Palm Springs International Comedy Festival. Please welcome to the stage our president, Mr. Paul Cruz.
Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been an amazing week of comedy. We really thank you for supporting Palm Springs International Comedy Festival. I want to start off by saying thank you to all the talented comedians who entered this year and who gave all of themselves to this competition. It was a very tough thing to perform comedy on Zoom. And as you know, due to the pandemic, this is what we decided to do. We didn't want to let anybody down. Our festival had to be pushed to 2 different dates. And I really want to thank all the comedians for coming out and giving their all. We will be watching you. We will continue to support you, and we will continue to be all inclusive and diverse in our selections. And we just really thank you for being a part of this. I know you guys all have been waiting to find out who the winner of the Best in Fest is for the 2020 Palm Springs International Comedy Festival. And without further ado, I would like to announce that. But first, I want to bring on Max Ziegfeld, who is one of our producers, and he's going to explain some of the things to you about the festival. and what we do for the decision making. Max, are you there? Is he not on yet?
Oh, my mic was off. Am I on now?
Yeah.
Hello. Hey, everybody. I have to say, thank you all so much for all your work. I had to say, it was an honor to share the screen with all of you. You all were so talented and so different, and attacked comedy in so many different ways. It was really absolutely fantastic to see. We had for me as I was also a comedian. It was very hard to judge because there were so many great people who were all great for so many different reasons. But the panel included. Are we getting feedback? Here we go. We had a really diverse panel of judges. We had, sitcom stars. We had casting executives. We had producers. We had bookers from all different parts of the country. So many writers. Bruce Valanche was judging, who writes for all these celebrities in the Academy Awards. So everybody was looking for different. I think had comes from a different place.
Yeah, VP, network VPs.
Yeah, so everyone is judging, I think, for judging their comedy in their own way for different reasons. So it's really an interesting mix of opinions. But I tell you, it was really hard. Everybody was so fantastic, and I really mean that.
So Max,
really
we want to start off by saying who was number 3 and number 2, and I'll announce the winner.
Okay. Oh wait, I got to make sure I get this right. Wait, I just got the text message. I don't want to screw it up. So number three for best comedian, Gianmarco.
Oh, I like it.
Caressy.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Hey.
Number 2, Don DePetta.
Hey.
You were amazing. You were so on it, so present in the room. I loved it.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so
Really
much.
fantastic. Like in it.
Really wonderful. Thank you.
Paul?
Okay, so this was given to me today. This has the results of who the winner is. The winner is in this envelope. I will open it up and reveal the name. All the studio executives that voted, the bookers from all over the country, the casting people, the celebrities, the comedy writers. So the winner of the 2020 Palm Springs International Comedy Festival is
Maxime.
Yay! Maxime
Swinton. So, congratulations, Maxime. This is a very unusual surprise for us. We were all very, very surprised. Not because you weren't talented, but because we never had a youth performer in our festival. And again, we like to be all inclusive and diverse. But when we took in all the considerations from the casting executives, from the network, the comedy club bookers across the country, Colin Mockery and Brad Sherwood from Whose Line Is It Anyways, all of the comedians that are on the panel, all the casting directors, all the celebrities. It was a very close race, guys. I have to say, it was very
close. Every time a new poll would come in, it's like, oh, someone's second, someone's first, someone's third.
Yeah. The poll numbers were moving up and down, up and down, up and down, and the final results are in. And so the winner is Maxime Swinton. So Maxime, are you there? Do you have something to say?
Yeah. Well, thank everybody for this awesome award, and thank everybody for coming. And I'm gonna really thank the organizers for even inviting me to this competition. And thanks to all the comics, because my parents let me listen to the few parts that are appropriate. And all you guys were hilarious. And I think comedy is amazing because comedy is the best medicine along with sugar. And I think comedy is what we need right now during these hard times.
Absolutely. And I hear you trained really hard for this competition. You've been training for 2 years.
I've actually some of my jokes. I've actually been training for 5 years.
5 years.
I'm rehearsing comedy 2 years and taking classes, but I've been doing comedy for basically my whole life.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna because I couldn't do this also without my parents, my mom and my dad. My mom, is my coach and my comedy partner. So, Mom, do you have anything to say?
Thank you. We're not in the same place because we're quarantining. We're in the Dominican Republic. And so we're going to be together. So we had to do this remotely because Maxime is in a different location in the Dominican right now. So thank you so much. Oh my God, this is Maxime's sister and his other sister is in New York. So we're like multinational. But thank you, everybody. Thank you.
And
it's funny his whole life.
I guess his dad's next to him. Dad, do you have anything to say?
Thanks for being Scottish.
Does his dad have anything to say?
Not usually.
Everybody's in shock still, right?
I know, right? I can just imagine how his career started. I just came through the birth canal, and boy, are my arms tired.
Well, once again, it was a very close race. Like Max said, the polls would change from hour
every 5 minutes, someone's in first. Oh, it was a nightmare. It was like watching a horse race.
But anyways, so we want to really thank everybody who contributed to the festival, all the comics. You guys are all fantastic. And once again, congratulations, Maxime Swinton, the 2020 Palm Springs International Comedy Festival Best of the Fest comedian of the 2020 year.
I should let all the comedians know. There's a lot of casting directors who didn't want to officially judge, but have been watching, and a lot of them have asked to see tapes. That are going to be looking at tapes like over the next, I don't know, couple months. So regardless of whether you won or not, you could walk away with a series in the next 6 months. So anything is possible. We had a lot of industry watching, continuing to watch. So best of luck to everybody this next season.
Yes.
We just lost connection, so we're back.
They're back.
All right. Any parting words, Maxime?
Well, thank you everybody for participating and coming to this event.
Any advice to young comedians starting out?
Just if you want to do something, just like I'm gonna think as a fellow young comedian. To all the young comedians, pursue what you want to do. Like pursue your dreams. I don't know how to say this. And like, okay.
Work hard, maybe.
Okay, I guess. Thank you, and to all the young comedians, and we are all amazing comedians.
Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Max. Thank you, Paul.
Yes, thank you,
Don. You were really amazing.
Oh, I appreciate it. Is it gonna be? Does it get posted anywhere by chance? They're gonna.
The sets?
No, not the sets. Just the. Does it? Just like the results or anything?
Oh yeah. It'll go out through our publicist. Will send.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Palm Springs International Comedy Festival. We are here for the final awards for all the films in the festival. Please give a warm welcome to Mr. Paul Cruz.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the final moment of the Palm Springs International Comedy Festival 2020. Thank you so much, first of all, to all the wonderful filmmakers who submitted. You guys submitted so many wonderful projects, from feature films to short films to TV pilots to animated projects to sketch comedy to web series to funny music videos. We have everything for you tonight. We're gonna read out the list. Here to join me is Palm Springs International Comedy Festival celebrity board member Kat Kramer. Kat, are you there?
Hi. Yes, I'm here.
And also Palm Springs International Comedy Festival board member and producer as well, Max Ziegfeld.
Hey, everybody.
So, shall we start, guys?
Ready?
Okay, so the first category we're going to read tonight is the feature film category, and the best feature film goes to Two Below from director Tim Cash.
Next category, best foreign feature film. It goes to Brighton, director Stephen Cookson.
And that's out of the UK.
Okay. Best audience favorite for feature film. The Bellman, director Cameron Fife.
The next category is documentaries. So best documentary goes to Cough Mania director Kevin Michaels.
Oh, nice.
Yay!
Neither heard both.
The audience favorite documentary goes to Mentally Ill, director Joshua Edelman.
Oh, great, thank you.
The short film category. The best short film for the 2020 goes to the Improv Guru director Max Barbacow.
Audience favorite short film. Beginner's Luck, director Casey Fay.
Best foreign short film from the UK, The Last Mermaid, directed by Fi Kelly.
Okay, moving on to the TV category. The best TV pilot for the Palm Springs International Comedy Festival 2020 is Loop Group, director Sophie Simpson.
Best foreign TV pilot, Staying Alive director Bradley Wayburn. And it's a tie. Best foreign TV pilot, Canada's Talent Drivers, director Kyer Papoots.
Thank you.
Audience favorite TV pilot was a tie. For Border Patrol, director John Lopez. And Canada's Talent, wait, did I just read the same thing?
No, it's
And
audience.
Canada's Talent Drivers, director Kyer Papoots.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now on to the web series. For best web series 2020 Palm Springs International Comedy Festival, the best web series goes to Louie and Bree TV, director Oliver Ponce.
There's another one too, I think.
For best web series? No,
Yes, best animated web series. Do you want me to read that one?
go ahead.
Best animated web series, Paula Dean's White House Kitchen, director Alexander Kern and Neil Blakemore. And best animated foreign web series is a tie, Tino Pizza, director Benoit Clioche and Julia Godard. And best foreign web series, Princessa de Woking from the UK, director Big Red Button.
An audience favorite for web series is Holly Wounded, director Charlie Bellerose and Sophie Gilbert. And did you guys hit best foreign web series? Did we do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So moving on to the music video categories for the 2020 Palm Springs International Comedy Festival, best music video goes to Palm Springs Bitch by pop star Nima.
And the best foreign music video goes to Two Arms Apart by director Elizabeth Usher.
And that's from Canada.
An audience favorite music video tie is between The Perfect Date for Every Woman, director Carrie Daniel, and Hit You in Your Hot Spot. Oh, who's the director?
Kemp Baldwin and
Kemp Baldwin.
Thank you.
So moving on to the best sketch comedy category. The best sketch comedy for the Palm Springs International Comedy Festival 2020 goes to the 20th Century Faux short films, director Jake Bradbury and Will Blank.
And the best foreign sketch comedy goes to Close Friends, director John Cavallaro.
An audience favorite for sketch comedy goes to The Annex, director Garth Kravitz and Evan Daves, and Country, director Coley Campany.
And that concludes our winners for the 2020 Palm Springs International Comedy Festival. We want to thank all of you who submitted. It's been a great festival. Thank you for joining us for 8 days. I know it's been a long.
Yeah, it's been a long festival.
I hope you guys enjoyed everything from the films to the stand-up competitions, to the entertainment industry panels, to all the celebrities, to the stand-up competition, and all the crazy celebrity drop-ins that we had. For those of you that are VIP members, you can continue to watch this streaming. Just access it on the website with your pass. And we hope you all join us next year for the Palm Springs International Comedy Festival 2021. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Laughter is healing, so keep laughing.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for our illustrious board members and President Paul Cruz. We're now going to go to the bring your own booth portion of the after party. If you'd like, 2 Zoom rooms will be available, the purple room and the orange room. You can choose how you want to do your evening. They are open now. Feel free to join and peruse. They'll be open for about 30 minutes. Have fun, everyone, and thanks for coming out.
I'm going to go grab a margarita. I'll be right back. Grab a drink and come on back.
Wait. We are.
You want to do anything, or should we just call it? Yeah.
And then we can.
No.